Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining me here today so that we could discuss Signs. So this movie stars Mel Gibson as a man who has suffered some incredibly intense trauma. He's having a lot of difficulty processing it and is certainly having issues moving forward. And that's not only manifesting as far as difficulty in getting along with his family and getting along with others because he has this kind of bitterness and resentment in his heart, but he's also having issues with his faith. He used to be a priest. Now he has completely left that life behind after the death of his wife. So as he's processing this, some very strange events start to happen. Crop circles appear, out in the field around his house, which, you can kind of maybe brush it off as a hoax or whatever, except that pretty soon they start to appear tons of places in the world, and it becomes clear that, like, hey, this is not just a hoax. So as he's processing these things and trying to figure that out, his family starts to get super into these crop circles and potential aliens and all that kind of stuff. And eventually, that's where the movie goes, is looking at what are these crop circles, what's causing them, and what's the role of Mel Gibson and his family in the whole situation. So Signs to me is a fun movie, and I like it. I don't like it for the reasons that people typically like it. I think this movie has a lot of B movie, like so bad it's good appeal. In my review for The Sixth Sense, I talked about how I thought Bruce Willis had kind of an unusual performance in that movie. I feel like everyone in this movie has that kind of performance. Mel Gibson is kind of his normal self, but just like a little bit off. But a lot of the people in this movie just have kind of like, I don't want to say that again. It's just a little bit off, just a little bit unnatural, a little bit forced, a little bit overdone. And I think you see that in these M. Night Shyamalan movies, and it reaches a peak in The Happening, which I think is one of the worst, best movies of all time. But anyway, Signs to me is kind of hokey. It's cheesy. It's B movie. It's hard for me to take it seriously because the dialogue is so stilted and the performances are kind of, are just kind of weird. But I like it. I'm entertained by it. I think it's a super fun movie. I can watch it, pretty regularly. As far as like the scariness or whatever, it's a little bit. There's some little touches of weirdness and unsettling moments, but overall, I don't really think this movie is that scary or that intense or anything like that. I just view it as kind of like a fun B movie that takes itself too seriously, and so I like it. But again, probably not for the reasons that typical Signs fans like the movie. But I do give it a recommendation, just because in the end, it's a fun movie. And that's pretty much what I'm looking for with something like this. So that's my review for Signs. If you want to check out more, I got a ton of movie reviews right on a big movie review playlist right here on YouTube. But until then, thanks for watching this one, and hopefully I'll see you soon.